Okay, welcome back, warrior. So lots of things brewing up in here, and in here, just like I don't I don't understand everything that I'm reading, but I love that I'm getting some insights. Most recently is the insight of like Adam creating the earth with Jesus Christ, and and then what that means for us as wives, right? Like our husbands create the world that we live in. I don't know. I think that's cool. But also like co-created it with Jesus Christ. And so it's like, just kind of puts things into perspective. And then also, then when we come on the scene, it's like, there's already a lot of stuff there, but there's still things that we can do to continue to make it beautiful and amazing, and something that we can pass down to our family. And I think that is super like exciting, fascinating, all kinds of stuff. And then the part where Adam had to go into a deep sleep before Eve came on the scene. I kind of like that, giving Eve like her time to prepare. Nobody knows how long that time period was. And so who knows? And also we don't know how long the time period was for Adam to be in the garden without Eve. I think that can be something that we can take note of and realize that possibly that could signify something for us also. Like, I think everything is so symbolic, but then also like certain things are very literal. So it's like, meh, I don't know. Okay. And then how Minecraft is like a man-made, way to distract our youth from focusing on creating real worlds and creating your own real world, because we get distracted and we use our creation of digital worlds to fill that void that we have, or fill that desire that we have to create. Right? We've all been given that desire to create. And I love, President Uchtdorf said that, something like that once, and I can't remember exactly where it is. But anyways, we're going to be reading Abraham chapter 4 now. Let's go back and see if I can find Abraham. So Abraham also gives an account of the creation, and in the process gives us valuable insights. The very first verse explains that is the gods organized and formed the heavens and the earth. So that's awesome. Okay, so chapter 4, the gods planned the creation of the earth and all life thereon. Their plans for the 6 days of creation are set forth. Okay. Let's see, should we read that or should we read this first, the quote? Maybe I'll read the quote first to kind of prepare us for the chapter. Okay, the head, this is from Joseph Smith, is what he explained. The head God organized the heavens and the earth. I defy all the world to refute me. In the beginning, the heads of the gods organized the heavens and the earth. Now the learned priests and the people rage, and the heathen imagine a vain thing. If we pursue the Hebrew text further, it reads, Beroshite Bar Elohim Ait Ashamayim Vehau Aretz. Man, I'm the worst at reading. Okay, I need to get better at that. The head one of the gods said, let us make a man in our image. I once asked a learned Jew if the Hebrew language compels us to render all words ending in him in the plural. Why not render the first Elohim plural? He replied, that is the rule with few exceptions. But in this case, it would ruin the Bible. Okay, well, I gathered. I don't understand this quote, but anyway, Joseph Smith's teachings of the prophet Joseph Smith, comprising or compiled by Joseph Fielding Smith. Okay, so the doctrine is not surprising to us. This doctrine is not surprising to us. We know of the council in heaven, and we know that there was a plan made, and we know that God is not alone in the heavens, but these are not widely understood doctrines. Okay, thank you for explaining that, Redheaded Hostess, a little bit better for me. Okay, then verse 1. And the Lord said, let us go down. And they went down at the beginning. And they, that is the gods, organized and formed the heavens and the earth. And the earth after it was formed was empty and desolate, because they had not formed anything, but the earth and darkness reigned upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was brooding upon the face of the waters. And they, the gods, said, let there be light. And there was light. And they, the gods, comprehended the light, for it was bright. And they divided the light, or caused it to be divided from the darkness. And the gods called the light day, and the darkness they called night. And it came to pass that from the evening until morning they called night, and from the morning until the evening they called day. And this was the first, or the beginning, of that which they called day and night. And the gods also said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and it shall divide the waters from the waters. And the gods ordered the expanse so that it divided the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it was so, even as they ordered. What's funny is, if anyone ordered me to do that, I would be so confused. It takes a God, you know? Or maybe you just literally can't explain it in words, right? Maybe it's just like, literally, we cannot explain things in words, like, because our vocabulary just does not go there. Anyways, verse 8, and the gods called the expanse heaven, and it came to pass that it was from evening until morning that they called night, and it came to pass that it was from morning until evening that they called day, and this was the second time that they called night and day. And the gods ordered, saying, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the earth come up dry. And it was so, as they ordered. And the gods pronounced the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters pronounced they great waters. And the gods saw that they were obeyed. And the gods said, let us prepare the earth to bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed in itself yieldeth its own likeness upon the earth. And it was so, even as they ordered. And the gods organized the earth to bring forth grass from its own seed, and the herb to bring forth herb from its own seed, yielding seed after his kind, and the earth to bring forth the tree from its own seed, yielding fruit, whose seed could not only bring forth the same in itself after his kind. And the gods saw that they were obeyed. And it came to pass that they numbered the days from the evening until the morning, and they called night. And it came to pass from the morning until the evening they called day, and it was the third time. I love the way that they're saying this. This one reminds me of like when you're telling your kids, we have to have 2 more sleeps before we get to go on vacation, right? Or something like that. What's interesting is like, I love that like fruits and trees and like grass and everything can bring forth from its own, like can grow more from its own seed. Isn't that like awesome? Anyway, I just think it's so fascinating. Like, how did they program that into the plant? You know? And the gods organized the lights in this expanse of heaven and caused them to divide the day from the night, and organize them to be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, and organize them to be for lights in the expanse of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And the gods organized the 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. With the lesser light they set the stars also. And the gods set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to cause to divide the light from the darkness. And the gods watched those things which they had ordered until they obeyed. And it came to pass that it was from evening until morning that it was night. And it came to pass that it was from morning until evening that it was day. And it was the 4th time. Okay, there's a quote here. It says, from Redhead Hostess says, verse 18 explains that the gods watched those things which they had ordered until they obeyed. And because the elements obeyed, chaos became order and creation happened. Life happened. Elder Von J. Featherstone used this scripture to teach the importance of obedience. He taught, youth, do not feel oppressed by obedience. Obedience is a wonderful and a great privilege. In Abraham 4:18, it states that the gods watched those things which they had ordered until they obeyed. What if the elements had not obeyed? They would have been damned or held back. So it is with us. Obedience to God is truly the only way to really be free and exercise our agency. Satan teaches the opposite, and with each wrong choice, binds us with chains. I promise you, obedience is a wonderful privilege. Elder Von J. Featherstone. One link still holds. October 1999, General Conference. Ooh, I love that quote. So how does this idea deepen your understanding of the power of obedience? And how long did it take, do you think, for those elements to obey, right? Like, because it says until they obeyed. Oh man, that's a lesson in parenthood. If I sat there and waited for my kids to obey me, I would never go to bed. And sometimes that's so. Verse 20. And the gods said, let us prepare the waters to bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and the fowl that they may fly above the earth in the open expanse of heaven. And the gods prepared the waters that they might bring forth great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters were to bring forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after their kind. And the gods saw that they would be obeyed, and that their plan was good. And the gods said, we will bless them and cause them to be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas or great waters and cause the fowl to multiply in the earth. And it came to pass that it was from evening until morning, and they called night. And it came to pass that it was from morning until evening, that they called day. And it was the fifth time. And the gods prepared the earth to bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after their kind. And it was so, as they had said. And the gods organized the earth to bring forth the beasts after their kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after its kind. And the gods saw they would obey. And the gods took counsel among themselves and said, let us go down and form man in our own image, or in our image, after our likeness, and we will give them dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So the gods went down to organize man in their own image, in the image of gods, to form they him, male and female, to form they them. And the gods said, we will bless them. And the gods said, we will cause them to be faithful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and to have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Okay, and I love that. It says universal father and mother. So this is what it says under Mother in Heaven, under Gospel Topics Essays at the church, at churchofjesuschrist.org. It says, church leaders have affirmed the existence of a mother in heaven. In 1909, the First Presidency taught that all men and women are in the similitude of the universal father and mother, and are literally the sons and daughters of deity. Susa Young Gates, a prominent leader in the church, wrote in 1920 that Joseph Smith's visions and teachings revealed the truth that the Divine Mother is side by side with the Divine Father. And in the family, a proclamation to the world issued in 1995, the First Presidency and Quorum of the 12 Apostles declared each person is a beloved spirit, son, or daughter of heavenly parents. And as such, each has a divine nature and destiny, end quote. Love that. And then prophets have taught that our heavenly parents work together for the salvation of the human family. President Harold B. Lee stated, we forget that we have a heavenly father and a heavenly mother who are even more concerned probably than our earthly father and mother, and that influences from beyond are constantly working to try to help us when we do all we can, end quote. Mother in Heaven Gospel Topic Essays. Ooh, I love that. I always love talking about Heavenly Mother. And people wonder like why we never saw her, right? And we never like get to get to see her in person, and I think she was so wise in keeping her likeness, keeping her physical form from us. And I think only because she knows how Satan tempts us, and Satan tempts us to compare ourselves to other women. And if we don't feel like we measure up, see how I said that? If we don't feel like we measure up, then we beat ourselves up for that. And so I think if Heavenly Mother would have shown herself at any point to anyone, it would basically like ruin our ability to continue to progress, because we would just be continually tortured by Satan. And because we want to be like her, right? We want to have the things she has. And so it's like we would just naturally want to be, and we would exploit her as well. I think that man would do that. Men would exploit her, or other women even, right? I mean, look what they do with female supers, people who have superpowers, or like heroines and stuff. It's always super gaudy and super like, I'm going to show off all my body. And, like it would just turn, like we would just warp her in our presence, or we would just warp her likeness, and then like ruin her presence in our lives, and Satan would just do that to us and to her. And so like it would just be, I think she was so wise to be like, no, this is me speculating, no, it's okay, I don't need to be present in certain things, you guys take care of that. I think that's probably how it went down. I'm totally speculating though, or, she probably, like, obviously she knew what was up, and knew what was going to happen. And so I believe she intentionally kept herself from anyone, perceiving the wrong being for us. Right. And so, yeah, I'm okay with her, not being like seen in visions, or not appearing to Joseph Smith. I'm totally okay with all these things. So anyways, I think some women don't like that, because maybe they feel like, how come we're trying to keep her from us or something? And I think that it's wisdom in them that she doesn't reveal herself to us yet. Anyway, Okay, verse 29. And the gods said, behold, we will give them every herb bearing seed that shall come upon the face of all the earth, and every tree which shall have fruit upon it, yea, the fruits of the tree yielding seed, to them we will give it. It shall be for their meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, behold, we will give them life, and also we will give to them every green herb for meat, and all these things shall be thus organized. And the gods said, we will do everything that we have said, and organize them. And behold, they shall be very obedient. And it came to pass that it was from evening until morning they called night, and it came to pass that it was from morning until evening that they called day, and they numbered the sixth time. So it says, and we will do everything that we have said. Yep. Because that's what gods do. They keep their word, right? Okay. I love that. Okay, and then now we need to read I'll read it, live it, but it's upstairs. Hold on. Okay, here's a read it, live it. All right. It says, Abraham chapter 4 says, the gods watched those things which they had ordered until they obeyed. So live it. Creation didn't happen all at once. There was a process, patience, and order. Let God work in his time. Ooh, I love that. Let God work in his time. Okay. Until Abraham chapter 5, stay strong, warrior.